Normally, I don't have any time for import gaming, not really seeing the point of the extra time and effort when a UK version is often available. But with NEC's PC Engine there was no official European release, so the Japanese or US variations are the only choice. I recently picked up a Japanese machine, and this episode will therefore focus on 3 randomly selected games for the fantastic little machine. To decide on the games I used a standard beer bottle, Heineken if you're interested, and a piece of cardboard cut into a pointer. The first game chosen by our homemade spinner was Power League 4 Baseball by Hudson Soft. Next is a conversion of Capcom's Sidearms by NEC Avenue. But first of all, let's take a look at the legendary axe from Victor Musical Industries. Legendary Axe is a game that I purchased after seeing an eBay auction titled Unknown PC Engine Game, Rare. A quick post on the Retro Gamer forum identified the game for me, and I managed to get it for just over £2 including postage. At that point, I had no machine to play it on, but a few days later my gorgeous little console arrived all the way from Norway, where I'd purchased the game from a big time PC Engine fan and regular Retro Gamer forum poster. When I finally got to play Legendary Axe, I was amazed at the quality of the visuals and the sound. With big colourful sprites and jaunty music, the game looks almost too good for an 8-bit machine. The gameplay is a little simple, but it is 20 years old, and has you wandering through caves and jungles, killing all wildlife and natives with your titular blade. I've no idea what worthy cause this is all in aid of, but with its high quality presentation and excellent gameplay that's very reminiscent of the arcade game Rastan, Legendary Axe is a great introduction to my new toy and a great game that can be highly recommended to anyone wanting to test out the quality of NEC's diminutive gaming system. If you're not prepared to import a machine, you can still taste the delights of the PCE by downloading the wonderful Magic Engine emulator for your PC. And if Legendary Axe hasn't persuaded you to do that, let's see if the next game will.
Random Gamer.
As far as I'm concerned, shoot 'em ups ended in 1987 with the release of the world-shatteringly fantastic R-Type. So the PC Engine version of Capcom's Sidearms Hyperdyne that was released in 1989 was always going to have a hard time impressing me. The coin-op itself was released a year earlier than R-Type, and rather than the standard spaceship, players control what I assume is either a man in a mech suit or a giant transformer. Using 2 fire buttons, you can shoot to either the left or the right, but to be honest, as soon as you get some of the many power-ups, you get a multi-directional cannon. That means the need for a button to shoot behind you is pretty redundant. Be a liar if I said I understood the different power-ups. The instructions are all in Japanese for God's sake. But what I do know is that each can be collected a number of times to boost up the destruction level. But sometimes, especially in the early levels, this takes things too far and you just feel like you simply keep pressing the fire button without having to worry about anything else. Things do change though, and the game becomes more challenging later on. Some might say even to a frustrating level. But the arcade machine was sold on its 2-player cooperative mode, and unfortunately the PC Engine only comes with one joystick port, so this option wasn't open to me. What is included is the strange feature where both robots join together to make a super powerful mecha-ballistic killing machine. But unlike the arcade where both players tried in vain to move the single character at the same time, on the PCE you simply got a more powerful robot, which to all intents and purposes is as good as an extra life. So the PC Engine version of Sidearms is a fun game and a very good conversion. It just suffers from the same downfalls as the arcade and from the lack of the all-important 2-player mode.
Random Gamer.
I'm not sure of the reasons why, but baseball is very popular in Japan, to the extent that it's second only to sumo wrestling in the popularity stakes. So you'll never be too hard pushed to find a decent baseball game for any console that had a reasonable amount of success on these shores. Power League 4 was released in '91 and contains a whole host of features that would have satisfied baseball fans and general gamers alike. Offering the choice of league, cup and exhibition matches, there's plenty on offer, including a home run competition that's pretty much the same as the Wii Sports baseball game, minus the motion sensing controls. The graphics are typically colourful and cartoony, with some amusing little animatic touches, like when the batter is declared safe, a home run is scored or a fielder makes a jumping catch. But what impressed me the most about the game is that it's the earliest example of a baseball game that I've ever seen where the pitching is actually fun. Normally, pitching is just about getting it over with quickly so that you can get back to batting as soon as possible. But here, the battle of wits with the batter, as you choose your pitch, the applying of after-touch swerves and the satisfaction gleaned when you get your third out whilst the bases are fully loaded is really good fun, and I enjoyed the fielding in a way that other games just couldn't match. It's a pity therefore that the batting lets things down. Granted, the instructions are in Japanese again, so I may be missing something really obvious, but it's just so damned hard, meaning that only 1 in 3 swings makes contact with the ball, and at least 2 out of 3 of those fly off into the foul zone. The batting is so difficult that in the many games that I've played, I've only yet scored 1 point, and I've hit a big fat 0 home runs. This really is a pity as the standalone home run competition is far easier to play and will see you knocking numerous balls right out of the park. But in the main game, getting beat every game because you can't hit the ball more than 10 feet just gets frustrating. The game is very customisable with a large number of teams and stadiums to choose from. You can also set the number of innings and take full control of the fielders or have the computer help out. So if you can overcome the extreme difficulty in the batting, then Power League 4 really is a wonderful game that's not only a great achievement for the PC Engine, but one of the best baseball games that I've ever played on any system. Do you think that's Japanese for terrible batters?
This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds.